Hi guys, it's Antoine. For those who have been following my channel, you probably saw that a few months ago I started a 6-month Roux one-hand challenge. Now, for those who have been following my channel, it's pretty obvious that I failed this challenge since the last video that I didn't finish the series, and the last video I posted has been more than 6 months ago. In that challenge, I was originally supposed to do 20 minutes of Roux per day, and then post a video weekly in which I would show you essentially random 12 solves to show you what my improvement was looking like. What I realized is that, a few things. First, Roux one-handed is not that easy. It's by spending 20 minutes per day, it might not be enough to properly learn, properly improve. And really, I think that the second thing I wanted to say is that 20 minutes really is not enough to really get good improvement. It might be enough to, for example, maintain your speed, but if you want to really learn something, and if you want to learn it efficiently, even not efficiently, if you want to get any real improvement and you want to get some real practice in, 20 minutes is definitely not enough. And so spreading that practice through to every single day is not actually a very good idea. And it would be even better to do maybe every 2 days do 40 minutes, something like that, or even every 3 days do 1 hour of practice. I would definitely recommend that more than 20 minutes every single day. And that's essentially what happened to me. When I would do it 20 minutes, I felt like there wasn't really any difference at all, and I wouldn't have enough time to put some real practice in there. And so what I ended up doing is not following to the 20 minutes every day, and also not recording videos. But I have been practicing, just not as regularly, but practicing longer when I've been practicing. So fairly regularly, but not every day, right? And so you'll notice, I have a few solves after this, you'll notice that there is quite a big difference between the last average that I posted and this average. So I have, for example, I learned EOLR, and so that's a very big difference. Right now, I still have some problems with recognizing the EOLR case, and so that is something that I still have to improve on a lot. But you'll also notice that my turning is also quite different from the last time, especially with the M turns. So being able to double flick and such stuff like that. But we won't talk too much. Here are the solves.
So let's take a look at these solves. So in this first one, I wasn't able to plan the entire first block in inspection, which is something that I really have to work on. And you see the first block was kind of troubling. The second one wasn't all that good. And so this solve was kind of meh overall. ULR ended up being very good and easy, as well as LS as the last 4 edges and centers. But overall, because the blocks were not very good, the solve was not very good. That compares to this one, which had a pretty good first block for me. And particularly the second block was also very good, and the transition between the two was very good. And so this solve, even though I messed up L and R, I still ended up getting a 13, which is decent, which is pretty good. So this solve, once again, first block kind of meh. Second block a little bit better though, getting a fairly efficient second block. But locks up in CMLL, and in this case the EOLR, I ended up doing a U instead of a U prime in there, and then tried to undo it and undid it wrong, and then of course these things happen. I think EOLR is really one of my main weaknesses right now. Recognizing the case and then figuring out how to do it is something that's taking a long time for me. So this here first block was pretty bad. I wasn't able to plan all of it. Second block, just as bad. So this solve, once again, is pretty bad. And so I think you really see in this average that there is still, despite this average actually being much, much better than my previous averages that I posted, when I was first really doing this challenge, there is still so much improvement. This solve, the first block was pretty good, second kind of meh. And then going in here, ULR was okay, and then I got a last 4 edges skip. So so there's a lot of improvement. Sorry, a lot of room for improvement is what I meant within these solves. In this one, I tried to kind of do first and second blocks at the same time. You can see here I am kind of, looks like I skipped things, but that's what happened. So I ended up doing some weird things, and then 15 is okay, despite still the EOLR, recognition and stuff being pretty bad. In this case, first block, totally mess it up. Which is, once again, I think one of my biggest weaknesses is still, doing the first block and also second block. So those, being able to plan everything and doing the transitions. In this case, the OLR had a good transition, but, still because the blocks were so bad, still 20 seconds solve. In this case, the blocks were a bit better. Right? You see the first block in particular. Second block still has quite an issue with the transition here. And so first two blocks done in about 9 seconds. And then here this ULR, I couldn't quite remember how to do it. And then I did it and it was very bad turning, lots of lockups. So once again, still like a 19-second solve here, not very good. Coming up to this one, right, the first blocks wasn't able to plan an inspection, took quite a few extra moves there to try and figure out how to do it. In the end, the first two blocks in 10, 11 seconds. But then after that, the last few edges were a bit better. Ended up with a 17. So definitely could be a lot better. I think it's still slower than my overall average right now. This solve is fairly good. So first two blocks were only about 6 or 7. And then the CMLL and LSE were kind of meh, also in 6 to 7 seconds. So I think that's in that part, it was something that I really should work on. So there's still a lot of different things I should work on in my solves. In this case, this solve, first I screwed up the first block and second block, and so in this case, I was gonna say the LSE was a bit better, but unfortunately got quite a few lockups. So this average really a little bit everywhere, right? So some decent solves, but mostly not very good solves. In this case, the first two blocks are pretty good, so got them in 7 and 8. But unfortunately, my LSE was pretty bad, and then I ended up skipping up centers. There we go. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
奇怪。